New York City is one of the most famous cities in the world, known as the city that never sleeps. It is a global center of culture, finance, media, and innovation. But long before skyscrapers filled the skyline and millions of people crowded its streets, the land that would become New York City had a very different story. Thousands of years ago, the area was home to Native American tribes, particularly the Lenape people. They lived along the rivers and forests of what is now Manhattan and the surrounding areas. The Lenape relied on fishing, hunting, and farming to survive. They used the rivers as transportation routes and built small villages across the region. For them, the land was not something to own, but something to share and respect. Everything began to change in the early 1600s when European explorers arrived. In 1609, an English explorer named Henry Hudson sailed into the harbor while working for the Dutch East India Company. He was searching for a route to Asia, but instead discovered a vast river and a promising land for trade. That river would later be named the Hudson River. The Dutch soon recognized the value of this location. In 1624, they established a small trading settlement called New Amsterdam at the southern tip of Manhattan Island. The settlement quickly became an important center for the fur trade, especially beaver pelts, which were highly valuable in Europe. One of the most famous stories from this time involves the so-called purchase of Manhattan. In 1626, Dutch Governor Peter Minuit reportedly bought the island of Manhattan from the Lenape people for goods worth about 60 guilders, often said to equal about $24. While historians debate the exact details, this event became a legendary moment in the city's history. New Amsterdam grew into a busy and diverse settlement. People from many different cultures came to live there, including Dutch, Germans, Africans, and other Europeans. Trade, shipping, and business flourished along the harbor. However, the Dutch control of the colony would not last long. In 1664, the British sent warships to take control of the settlement. Facing a powerful British fleet, the Dutch surrendered without much resistance. The British renamed the city New York in honor of the Duke of York, who later became King James II of England. Under British rule, New York continued to grow as a trading port. Its location between the American colonies made it an important hub for commerce and communication. By the 1700s, the city had become one of the most important colonial cities in North America. When tensions between the American colonies and Britain began to rise, New York played a significant role in the American Revolution. In 1776, George Washington and the Continental Army fought the British in the Battle of Long Island, one of the largest battles of the war. The British eventually captured New York City and used it as their headquarters for much of the conflict. After the American colonies won independence in 1783, New York began a new chapter as part of the United States. For a short time, from 1785 to 1790, New York City even served as the capital of the United States. In 1789, George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States in New York at Federal Hall on Wall Street. During the 1800s, New York City experienced explosive growth. One of the most important developments was the opening of the Erie Canal in 1825. This canal connected the Hudson River to the Great Lakes, making it easier and cheaper to transport goods across the country. As a result, New York became the most powerful trade center in the United States. The 19th century also brought millions of immigrants to the city. People arrived from Ireland, Germany, Italy, and many other countries, searching for jobs and a better life. Many of them first stepped onto American soil at Ellis Island, the nation's busiest immigration station. The city expanded rapidly during this time. In 1898, the modern structure of New York City was formed when 5 boroughs officially united: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. This consolidation created the New York City we know today. As the 20th century began, New York quickly became a symbol of ambition and opportunity. Skyscrapers started to rise into the sky, transforming the city's skyline. Famous buildings like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building became icons of modern architecture. New York also became the center of finance. Wall Street emerged as the heart of the global financial system, with the New York Stock Exchange playing a crucial role in the world economy. The city became a cultural powerhouse as well. Broadway theaters, jazz music in Harlem, and the rise of film art and literature made New York one of the most influential cultural capitals in the world. The Harlem Renaissance in the 1920s brought incredible creativity and highlighted African American art, music, and literature. However, the city also faced challenges. The Great Depression in the 1930s caused widespread economic hardship. Later in the 20th century, New York struggled with crime, financial crises, and social change. But the city repeatedly proved its resilience. One of the most tragic moments in New York's history occurred on September 11, 2001, when terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. Nearly 3,000 people lost their lives in the attacks. The event deeply affected the city and the entire world. In the years that followed, New Yorkers rebuilt and honored those who were lost, showing remarkable strength and unity. Today, New York City is home to more than 8 million people and represents one of the most diverse places on Earth. Over 800 languages are spoken in the city, making it a global crossroads of cultures and ideas. From the quiet villages of the Lenape people to the towering skyscrapers of Manhattan, New York City's story is one of constant change, ambition, and resilience. It has grown from a small trading post into one of the most powerful and influential cities in human history. And even today, the story of New York City is still being written every single day.